All right, start the timer. We don't even need 2 minutes to do this, but I'm gonna do it in less than 2 minutes. We're gonna hop over to FX replay. Looks like I was in the middle of a back test, so I'm just gonna clear everything off, shut this down, go to the next New York session. This is literally 1 hour. Is it an hour? Or actually it's an hour before New York open. I'm gonna put the session ranges on the chart. That's the only thing I really need. So we got the session ranges right here. And you're gonna follow my instructions and you'll get this done in less than 2 minutes. I don't even need the full 2 minutes. Okay, we're gonna start out on the weekly time frame. So we're going 1 week over here. I'm gonna mark the highs and the lows of the weekly chart. So we're just gonna mark these. I'm not gonna label them for the sake of time. Okay, previous weekly highs and lows marked. I'm going to the daily now. I'm gonna mark the previous daily high. That has not been grabbed, by the way. Previous daily low that is not being grabbed. I do see there's a daily fair value gap. I'm not really interested in that since I'm day trading and mostly scalping and day trading. So I'm going to the 4 hour fair value gaps. And from here, I'm going to mark my 4 hour swing levels. So here's the top of that session. Bottom of the session is down here. I'm going to use my smaller time frame to make sure my sessions are good. I'm now going over to my session ranges and I'm going to mark the most relevant. So there's London high, London low. And then from here, I'm going to mark my 4 hour fair value gap, any gap that I see. And from here, I'm going to go down to a 1 hour time frame and I'm going to mark the 1 hour fair value gaps. Maybe we're in one, maybe we're not. I'm going to turn off session ranges so I can see things clearly. I'm going to mark this fair value gap that we're here, right in here. Oh, that's a wick. Never mind. This has already been taken. So the one below it is what I'm going to mark right here. I'm going to mark the middle of these fair value gaps, by the way, middle. Okay, so I'm done. Like you can stop the timer. That's it. So you want to start the weekly, you want to go to the daily, you want to go to your 4 hour, you want to mark swing levels. And then from here, your charting is done. All right. The actual liquidity points on the chart are done. You can put targets, if it helps you. I like to put little targets like this, the middle of the fair value gap, daily high, previous day high up here. Now, I don't know exactly what the time was on that. I know it's under 2 minutes, but that is all I do. And I've made a lot of money doing it this way. And I don't focus on any other time frames. This is it. So now that everything is marked, the question is, well, what do you do? Well, the reason why I like this kind of setup where we're just marking liquidity is because liquidity is the reason why price moves. It also gives you clear targets. It gives you clear identified areas to where you can look for what's called support and resistance. It could be dynamic support and resistance, which is more like a trend line. It could be static support and resistance, which is horizontal. And whether or not you're a breakout trader, a trend line trader, or like me, I like to trade reversals. I like to buy low, sell high. I live by the Jim Rogers quote. So what we can do from here is build a narrative based on what the session ranges have done. And shout out to James in my trading group. By the way, this is my trading group on School. I've literally traded in here for 15 months straight live. You can see in the calendar all of the live sessions. If you guys want to trade live with me, the link is in the description. And I am a huge fan of being very hands-on. So there is very good training in here. It's very clear, concise, to the point, but I believe in community first. Shout out to James because he posted this and I'm about to share this little cheat sheet with you guys right now. And I think it's just really cool that we have traders in our community like James. He's a funded trader and he's been rocking with us for about a year. And I just think it's so cool that we have like a family oriented type of trading group. It's really cool. So if you guys want to come in and trade with me Monday through Friday, plus I'm rolling something out pretty soon. You might want to join sooner than later because it's going to be pretty epic. But so if we take a look at price action and then we use this cheat sheet, we can see that the most probable scenario would be this right here, which is Asia range, London manipulation, New York reversal, basically London taking Asia's high, and then New York expanding lower. And so let's go to the charts and see if this even plays out. This is an idea. This will give you a little bit of your bias, help you with your bias. But what we want to see is that push to the downside, right? We want to see this, and we want to see this broken and most likely running to these lows. So our actual overall bias target is going to be down here. The question is, what trend are you in? Are you playing by the 50% rule? Are you buying low, selling high? That's probably the easiest way to become a profitable trader, is just to learn that rule. And then what is your actual entry model? That's 50% of it. And then the other 50% is what are you doing at setup? Meaning, do you have your position sizing, your take profit, your stop loss levels in places where you are most likely going to be able to what I call manage the trade. So let's play this thing out. You guys have waited long enough. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to play it out. We hit our first liquidity target right in the middle of that fair value gap. And you can see what price has done. It immediately reversed from there. So just going down on our 1 minute time frame, we're going to check out and see if we actually have some volume, something that would basically suggest that this could be a decent trade to the upside. And so you can see we have a breaker block right here. This is the unicorn model. This is what I teach. And this is my setup for going in, if I'm going to go in. But we're pre-market. The market has not opened yet. So if I were to go, it would be a very light sizing, but I probably would take this trade. So win or lose, here we go. We'll play this out a little bit. And it's already manageable. And this is what I talk about, like making your trades manageable. I would have a break even stop at this point. If it doesn't run, then guess what? I don't get the trade off. Not a big deal. If it does run, I can trail stop. And here we go. Nice little push to the upside. So what I would do here is move my stop right here. Underneath this consolidated range, this is a shelf. So price should come back, tap the shelf and keep running if it's going to run. If not, I take a small win and I walk away. So here we go. It runs. A little bit of a weird shelf that it creates right there, but I would move my stop up at this point. So I'd be trailing stop probably right there. It's a little tight, probably going to get it hit because the market is about to open. And there it is. Okay. So I don't lose. I break even on that first trade. And we'll see if it keeps running up. Probably not. Market's going to open. It's going to take out some liquidity somewhere. It might even run lower. This might, remember, our daily bias is down. So let's see what happens. Okay, so oh wow, big push to the top. So we have not broken London highs just yet. Let's see what happens here. So a little grab of liquidity. And we'll go back to the cheat sheet in just a second, see if there's anything that can help us there. But a little grab of liquidity. So look at that manipulation right there. It's really interesting. And now we're back down in sort of a discount on the daily time frame discount level. So I don't really want to be selling at this level, although our target is down here. So let's see what happens. Let's see if price actually pushes to those targets and we end up playing out. Remember, you got to be a little bit imaginative when it comes to trading, guys. It is not a mechanical, systematic thing. It is an art. And don't let anybody fool you saying that stuff, guys. There are many, many different ways to win in trading. There isn't just one trading model. My trading model is just, a lot of people think, oh, his system looks really easy and he's a profitable trader and he's transparent. He shows it live and he trades live. Yes, all that stuff is true, but it's not easy. This is not an easy thing. Easy would just be like brainless. Look at this time frame. I want to show you something. Ready? This will blow your mind. So we're here on a 5-minute time frame and it looks, look at this. Price closed a candle body above this range. Aren't we going up? Here's a 30-minute. Now does it look bullish? You see, you have to be able to switch your time frames. And this is what confuses a lot of traders is like you go to one time frame, it says this. You go to the other time frame, it says this. And so on one, you're right. On the other, you're wrong. And this happens a lot. So there's a way to manage that. And it really does take a little bit of time. But let me just show you something. So we manipulated the highs. We broke structure here on this 5-minute time frame going down. Okay, so this is our change of character at this point. So price is looking like it's going to go down, which is great because that falls in line with our daily bias. The only thing about that daily bias, let me put up the cheat sheet real quick. The only thing about the daily bias is that we manipulated the highs. So this particular pattern that we've seen, London taking the highs, right? And then price running and it's doing this, right? But the only thing that it didn't do is go and grab. It didn't manipulate. That's not up here. I'm trying to show you that cheat sheet is still accurate if you consider this just a manipulation grab. It's just a grab of liquidity. It's not breaking to the upside. Yes, technically the range went higher, okay? But we should maybe be looking for that drop here. So let's see. Let's see what happens. We don't know. Okay, I'm looking for the middle of that gap. Now it goes through the middle of the gap, fills the entire gap. Okay, and we're just going to play it out just a little bit, guys, because I want to help you understand that, your charting is one thing, but actually looking for setup and finding setups is a whole different animal. A lot of people, they take profits too early. So they'll have tiny wins and they'll have big losses. And the reason why is because in the beginning, it's hard to come up with really solid trading ideas over and over and over. Now, according to our daily bias, right, the structure that we originally looked at with the cheat sheet, I'll put this back up here. It shows that price is just going to run down to the lows. Does that mean it's not going to pull back and reverse and do what structurally price usually does, which is come back and tap things like we call shelves, which are just basic swing points above? And does that mean it's not going to do that? No, price goes down, then price goes up, then price goes down, then price goes up, and probably price would go down again, right? So look at what happens though. That daily bias holds true. Price is suppressed to the downside and it's continuing to fall. So it's pretty cool, right? That, yes, you had that manipulation up at the top of the highs, but overall, the cheat sheet helped us identify what's most likely to play out. Price will always go back up at some point. I'll just go to the next day. Here's the next day. And now let's see if it does the exact opposite of the previous day. I'm curious now. So I'm going to play this out and see kind of a consolidation right there. Okay, so what's cool is, check this out. I'm going to put the cheat sheet back up on the chart. What pattern is that? Look at this one right here. So seek and destroy, search and destroy, okay? This is a very hard pattern to recognize in the moment. A lot of traders get wrecked, but look, this is pretty much search and destroy. So with a little bit of artistic freedom, you can see that these patterns do end up playing out. They do help. So anyways, I wanted to point that out. This is something that can help you guys. I hope that you like it. If you did, you know what to do. You want to trade live with me, you know what to do. Link is in the description. And if you haven't seen my last video on the pattern that I look for once these high time frame liquidity zones get tapped to spot trendline liquidity, go check that out. That'll definitely help you as well. I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.